Halo semuanya, selamat datang kembali di channel gua. Balik lagi bersama gua Isnandar Zaini Ridwan. Hari ini kita bakal live watch party Derby Susanto, yakni Paper Rex menghadapi G1 ya guys. Namun sebelum itu gua mau main uh, team deathmatch dulu sebentar. Sebelum kita mulai nobarnya. Kita start sekarang.
Match found.
Mapnya drift, euy. Pakai apa ini? Keluar aja dah. Iya ya. Ah? Oh ya. Oke. Sebentar guys.
Sorry, it's this one.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so you have all the teams here. I'm gonna ask you some questions and just hold up which one that you think. Okay, so the first question is, what was the most frustrating match? Oh my God, he's holding a team secret one. I barely asked the question. What was the most frustrating match? Was it Secret, Talent, or DRX?
Wait, this is for playoffs or for the whole season?
I think for the
Season.
Oh,
Yeah.
Secret, man.
Yeah, that you picked up the right one right away. Do you want any remarks about that, or it's pretty self-explanatory?
Yeah, I'm never letting the uncle play Sova again. I'll just tell you now.
Jesse
You
back.
already know what's gonna happen. He's never playing Sova against us.
All right, today, match 2 is going to be DRX or Genji. Who do you think is going to win today? What's your prediction?
I think DRX is gonna win.
All right.
Simply because I think Marco is the GOAT and
Oh,
he's gonna show up today.
okay. I think a lot of us can agree with that. Okay, we want your honest answer. Do you think T1 or Genji was the better opponent?
I think we match up better against T1, and I think there's the whole brother rivalry thing going.
That's talent.
Yep. T1. I'll find it. I mean, they look so similar.
They do. A
Yeah, they do look really similar.
little bit inverted.
Yeah. But T1.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we match up slightly better against T1.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And which team surprised you the most with their results?
The mirror image. Listen.
Why is that?
Talent. When I was playing against Talent, firstly, it's because it's a single limb bracket, right? So it's already very stressful. But I also had this inkling that something is going to go wrong. They're the type of team. They have 6 members. They keep interchanging. I don't know what they're going to run. They play a different style, very, very control based. They like to run around the map. They like to go into the B bomb site, disappear, come back to the C bomb site, disappear, go back to the A bomb site. So I find that very difficult to play against. And they like to flank you more than other teams. So these kind of things are very frustrating for us. And I think they showed it on Pine. So impossible for us to figure out where they're going.
Yeah, that's really interesting that a lot of the Southeast Asian teams actually, I would say, give Paper X a little bit of a hard time in terms of their gameplay. Now, I know you need to go down there and do a walkout, so we need to send you down. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for stopping by.
You get
Thanks,
to,
bye everyone.
yeah,
Thank you.
Seth doesn't get to ask you a question today.
I made it.
Yeah.
I had
Good
nothing
luck.
prepared.
谢谢.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, thank you.
Practice your Chinese, you're going to Shanghai. All right, well, it's always fun to have Alex at the desk here.
He's got a sprint downstairs now.
Yeah.
We held him for a
We
little
did
bit
that.
longer than we were supposed
Yeah.
to, but it was a good
There was a
conversation.
mini game that we had to do. So that was really insightful as always, especially in terms of how he regards his players and how he regards a lot of his opponents there.
I was curious to see whether or not he did actually just kind of lock Mind Freak into that prison of okay, you're forced to do this, but it gives him a little bit more free reign than I was kind of expecting. So it's not quite just Alex holding the leash of all those maniacs, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. Now we are gonna be welcoming the players, including coaches, who's sprinting down to the stage right now, out onto the stage. This is gonna be a very exciting matchup. Once again, I'm gonna see the SUSANTO Derby. We're gonna see T1 versus Paper Rex.
T1 take down Genji.
Oh my gosh, T1, what a comeback is this the T1 that everybody has been waiting for?
저희가 일반 시즌에서 너무 못했어서 가지고 그거를 이제 다 이겨내고 상하이에 진출했으니까 너무 행복합니다. 다들 긍정적인 선수긴 하지만 특히나 카르페 선수가 작년처럼 되게 긍정적인 콜 그리고 팀이 부진할 때 되게 일어나라는 콜 그런 게 되게 많이 도움이 됐던 것 같습니다.
Paper Rex punch their ticket to Master Shanghai.
I'm really happy that we managed to win. With this match against DRX, Forsaken called a lot and it really helped us because we won many crucial rounds based on his calling. He played a really big part of this win. For Masters Madrid, I wasn't there, but now I'm really happy that I'm able to play in Masters Shanghai.
어떻게 보면 저희랑 조금 비슷한 바이브를 가진 부분이 있거든요. 약간 공격적이고 상황 변수에 좀 대처가 능하다. 그런 부분이 되게 정말 견제가 많이 될 것 같고요. 마인드 프릭이 요새 정말 클러치를 잘해요. 클러치의 진짜 신이라고 할 정도로 잘하는 것 같은데 요새는 마인드 프릭 선수가 좀 경계가 됩니다.
T1 has really shown a lot of improvement and they're slowly getting their form. So I definitely think that they are tough competitors, but we're gonna prepare and overcome them.
마스터즈 뭐 가는 게 목표가 아니라 정말 챔피언스에서 우승하고 싶은 게 목표일 만큼 어디까지 갈 수 있을지 팬들 여러분들도 응원하면서 지켜봐 주시면 좋겠습니다.
I will try my best against T1 to win this match and hopefully win the entire championship.
T1.
Before yesterday, T1 was considered the underdogs amongst the 4 remaining playoff teams. Few believed they would make it to Shanghai, let alone by sending Genji off to lowers in a convincing fashion. This Korean org is a force to be reckoned with. This is T1.
A force to be reckoned with the team on the other side of the stage, Victoria. A big challenge for them.
And now Paper Rex coming onto stage. They're the pioneers of Control Chaos, the most aggressive team in the world. The critics said full W couldn't be done. They said the agent comps don't make sense. Yet here they are once more in the upper finals of playoffs, reaching here by shattering records again in the fastest gameplay in VCT franchise league history. It's the one and only Paper Rex. Now, these 2 guys on stage have largely influenced the current team's meta. They're brothers facing off. It's the SUSANTO IGLs, Forsaken and X-Curate. And we're welcoming now the coaches onto the stage.
Fist bumps exchange, but I think that's about where all the pleasantries are going to end as we get ready to go into this series. These 2 organizations have played against each other a multitude of times now in VCT Pacific history. This will be the 6th outing, and across all of their matches in the past, T1 has never taken a map off of Paper Rex, let alone gotten a victory.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the big things as well is Paper Rex were the reason why T1 couldn't get into Masters Madrid, because they knocked them out during kickoff. So that's going to be a kind of double on double on what they just have to do to be able to beat down Paper Rex right now, in terms of just, again, the losses that they've never been able to win against this team, as well as just the chances to get into international that they couldn't get because of the Paper Rex.
Now, we were talking about IGLs, and you pointed out, Asarai, that it's very fascinating how these 2 brothers work. X-Curate on one side, pioneering through the FPS esports titles and probably showing Jason a thing or 2, but it also goes the other way.
Yeah, again, that we do know X-Grade is just the bomb on Chamber, but him trying to branch out, showing a lot more extra roles, was because he was getting help from his little brother that has that experience on so many roles, so many agents. So now, will that be the downfall here of Paper X coming into this series?
Side player leading the charge there for T1 as they take their seats. He needs to be the one leading the charge in the game itself.
Now we are going to go into the first game of today. This is going to be a good one. We got T1 versus Paper Rex. Let's go over to our casters who are going to take us through all the action.
Thank you guys on the analyst desk. Guy Valdez with me is Paper Thin today, and we are getting ready for Paper X up against T1. This one, on paper, all of us did go for Paper X, but T1 have been on a massive winning streak here in the playoffs. How are you doing today, Paper Thin?
I'm doing great, really excited, other than it's really rainy today in Seoul, but other than that, I mean, the matches are going to be great today. I think, obviously, yes, Paper X, the favorites, but T1 have been showing incredible form. They've been showing really good decisiveness, really good decision-making with X-Curate at the helm right now, and they've got some good sub-calling, and it seems like some of their players are really stepping up, like Rossi and Saya, like the desk was talking about. So really excited here. Lotus is going to be our first map, and this should be a banger. Both these teams are so damn good at this map.
Yeah, I think we're going to know right from the get-go if T1 is ready to roll with Paper X. They choose Lotus. They have looked fantastic on this map, but so have Paper X. So definitely can be seen as a bit of a risk, but also comfort for the side of T1. And And that's why I say I think we're going to know right from the get-go, because if they falter here, I think Paper X, they start to get rolling, they start to get the vibes up, they start to fool around, in comms, and as they're destroying you, that's when they're scariest. But T1 have been dominating their matches that they have played so far in the playoffs, including up against some really strong teams. So far, in terms of the comps, anything that stands out to you, Paper Thin?
No, this is what you expect. I mean, I think, again, a lot of people, if you've missed the last couple of days, shame on you, first of all. Second of all, there is a breach now for Paper X. Forsaken has added yet another agent to his agent pool. And this, I think, is somewhat to add some control to the map for them. Yes, the Cypher gives you really hard, single site control, but this allows them to flex on the map a little bit, gives them a little bit more power on that attacker side as well. Something they probably are looking to add a little bit more oomph to. They've been, Paper X has been really good on the defender side, hilariously enough this year, but their attacker side needed a little bit of something extra. You have that extra set of flashes there to help, something really pop off.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the defender side, we have seen what they were able to do up against DRX, and especially that last half on the last map that they played, which was Bind. We saw something pushing out, getting solo kills. We saw the team pushing out and just absolutely rolling over them. Even from the defensive side, they're like, no, we're just going to WQ into them. It doesn't matter, whatever side we're playing. We're just going to up the tempo. We're going to run at you, and we're going to gun you down. So I think it's very important for T1 to keep that mental very stable, because I do feel like DRX unfortunately did falter a bit towards the end of that best of 3, and that's where Paper X will get you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing about Paper X is they are very, very strong mentally. I don't think this is something that this team gets enough credit for, is the fact that time and time again they have really rough starts or a really rough map, and they just flip on a dime and they are right back in it, and it rarely feels like they're out of it, barring a couple big matches internationally that they kind of stumbled a little bit. I think other than that, they're a fearsome team for what you were talking about earlier, Valdez, that they're having fun out there, and when they're having fun, that's when you're screwed, because they're just out there laughing, drawing hearts on the walls, and
yeah,
it's just so difficult to beat them when they're like that.
Running down mid, stealing aces away from Jing. It's staring in his face. It's overwhelming for sure, and I think that we'll have to wait and see if something like that does happen today. As you guys might notice, we do have a slight delay before getting into Lotus, but hopefully we can get this figured out and jump right onto the first map and see how it does go. Accurate hopping onto the chamber. I am excited to see if he can pull off some nice stuff on this map personally. Also, Saya player was a big player in terms of the crazy shots on the side of T1. He was the one getting the crazy flicks, and obviously his operator play is, I mean, it's just incredible. So we'll have to wait and see if he can turn up the heat for this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're all really looking for here is, how good are these op plays going to be for the side of T1, whether it be Xcurate or Saya. Sometimes both of them are opping. If they start really rolling in their rounds and they have enough cash accumulated, they'll do that. Forsaken did say he's got some plans how to deal with his brother's chamber, and that's what I'm kind of curious about, is really watching that breach to see if he's got some good fault line setups, maybe some good aftershocks to keep an angle held so that his team can cross and things like that, so that Xcurate can't really get comfortable. But that's something that I'm really keen about today. Is I'm really going to be focusing on that breach, because he put up 18 assists against DRX yesterday, so he clearly is having a ton of impact on this agent.
Yeah, definitely something that they just bring in for the power of the breach alone. Seems like we need 2 minutes, by the way, guys, before we do hop onto this map. But I was casting with William. He's like, maybe they were preparing up against the Neon. Governor likes to pull that out, but you see them bring it out here once again, same composition, and not necessarily going to expect that same agent pick from the side of T1. So just seems like a straight up good pick in his mind that he wants to play against anything, and that works with their composition specifically. As you mentioned, I think, tons of setup in terms of, getting flashes on the site. Entries are going to be so easy, and even just pushing out of the defensive side just makes it so easy when you do have that much initiation, and of course the double duelist. So certainly does feel like it fits Paper X's play style really well.
I agree. I fully agree. And I think Alex might have given away a little bit of maybe why this happened on the desk when he was being interviewed here earlier, that he's, they were talking about Mindfreak hated playing on Rubble and why he hated it, but Alex said that it's the most important spot on the map. and Breach gives you extra control over it, right? I mean, fault lines allow you to block people coming out of A lobby really well, or just fault line the back of Rubble itself. You have the aftershocks to clear the back of Rubble. You have the flashes as well. So I think that's probably part of the equation here as well, is really helping Mind Freak out, take a Rubble control and maintain it. So I think just in general gives a lot more flexibility here to Paper X than what the Cypher would bring.
Yeah, and if you're pushing on to it from the attacker side as well, the aftershock just to clear the back of the Rubble, to make sure you just control that area, it's pretty strong. So as you mentioned, maybe giving away some secret technology, some secret information, but I think, you know, if you're a coach and you watch what Breach was doing, what Forsaken was doing on that map, you know, you can kind of learn it anyway, so it's kind of out in the open at this point. And we did have, as I mentioned before, everybody predicting Paper X for this matchup. Did that surprise you at all, that nobody kind of went for the T1 upset?
No, I thought, well, I thought maybe like Asarai or William might go for it, because they sometimes like to throw those out there, but it's hard to pick against Paper X, especially with how they looked yesterday. I mean, they were so dominant. When they're feeling themselves, I don't think there's any team in the world that can beat them. I mean, they're just too darn good, and Devi's playing out of his mind this year again. I mean, I know a lot of people who are watching FNS's stream have gotten the kind of Devi belief in them, because he's been glazing Devi a lot. But I mean, I think it's just really, really insane how good he's been the last couple of years. And I think a lot of people don't understand that it's his utility usage and his shooting. He's really good at setting up. People like something in Jing in particular with this guy, using those flashes incredibly well. He's so good off the cuff. He's so fast to get to those positions. And he's just like, it's like they don't even have to think about it. It's so fast. So I'm a huge Devi fan, have been for a long time now, and you're seeing it in the games and in the stats and everything.
Well, guys, it seems like this delay is going to take a little bit longer than we did expect. Sorry about that. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with Lotus.
just want you to be more efficient because these guys just play contact. So.
Okay, Team Secret, we need you guys on the stage now. Come on, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Tara. Let's go.
Red Bull gives you wings.
立ち日グループ100周年。私たちは愛する立川にかつてないワクワクや感動に出会う場所を作ってきました。そして今大きな夢の実現に挑戦しています。立川と世界を文化、芸術、スポーツでつなぐ。私たちが愛する立川を世界に愛される都市に。立川と世界をつなぐ立ち日グループ。
Hello and welcome back. We are here after that short commercial break, and we're getting ready for the first map of T1 up against Paper X, which will be Lotus, as long as the issue was solved, which, based on the fact that we're back, I hope it is, Paper Thin.
Yeah, I think we should be good to go here pretty soon, but should be an awesome one. And look at that music, look at that camera shot. I think we're ready.
We are ready. Map number 1, T1 versus Paper X. We'll have to wait and see
Lagi
who's
bawa
going
barang
to
dulu.
take this
Barusan.
first one by storm. Who is going to get the early lead in this series? And I think also a lot of people are paying attention to see if T1 can actually step up to the plate up against Paper X, if they do have that kind of play style that can match Paper X's aggression, which perhaps we didn't quite see in full from DRX yesterday.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is a good litmus test for T1 to see exactly what form they're going to be in, you know, getting into Shanghai. You know, they've got there. Now let's see how well they're prepared. I think, you know, if this upward trend continues, they're definitely going to be a threat coming into that event. You'd love to get the win here. You'd love to finish, as strong as possible, but obviously Paper X going to be very, very difficult. I will say one thing for Paper X is your pistol rounds weren't so great yesterday, so that might be something they're looking to improve on, but could be a crunch coming through this door potentially.
Yeah, we do have X-Geared here. He is going to hit the one shot. We also have Carpe and Rossi trying to hold down the fort, but Forsaken picks up 2 as well. So a very back and forth trade overall. And now they're looking at C. Rossi going to get that dink. And now that might push them back just a little bit. Meanwhile, Saya trying to take this Sheriff duel up against Forsaken's Ghost. And they are going to push on to him.
I think he's going to be ready. Forsaken pushed ahead of that nade. It's going to be really tough. He's gotten all the way around. Saya might be none the wiser to this.
Oh, man.
What a maneuver here.
This is very sneaky.
This is extremely sneaky.
Saya, is he going to expect it is the real question. He's about to peek this corner, and he's still going to hit the shot. It looked like he was very much caught off guard. But at least he hits the shot, and now that brings us to 1v1.
Yeah, but Rossi's been really good in clutches, so Forsaken, 3 kills on the round already. Gonna need the 4K to clutch this one out.
Forsaken just going to get in the tree and pass over right before Rossi makes his way out of the site. So now Rossi, he might have an inkling that he could be in tree. Obviously, this plant is very good for tree coverage. But let's see if Rossi can handle it. The Classic up against the Ghost at this range should go all the way of Forsaken. Let's see if he can take the win. And yes, he will. A 4K for Forsaken on the first round to bring PRX their pistol round.
Yeah, and these are the things that make Paper X so tricky. I mean, all the credit to Saya for reading that they could have gone through towards spawn and at least getting one there. Forsaken, though, just spraying through smoke. Unfair how that works, but the flank angle nice there. So the counter maneuver by Forsaken, really, really good. Just barely able to get through with that win. 22 health left. Nice attempt, but I like what T1 did. Honestly, I think they had a pretty decent round, except for they just didn't account for Forsaken, and that kind of cost them that round. And once again, going to be turning up the pace. Excurrent looking for that headshot. He's going to get it.
That's going to be an excellent start now for the side of T1, but Paper Rex not to be outdone. They are going to charge onto the C site, and now with their superior firepower, they will get onto the site relatively easily. Excurrent at least getting the 1 kill, but Paper Rex now going to go for the plants here on C.
Well, let's see what they want to do. Here's a Marshall in Saya's hands as he's wrapping all the way through. Attackers spawn. Jing out there. Yeah. Good for the one on the Carpe. Izu thinking about it, but Devi just trades right back.
Yeah, Devi swinging right as Jing went right behind the wall. Probably not expecting it was Izu. And now Saya just looking to get in position to die to the spike. So early good start here for Paper Rex, although that first round was quite close. Saya with his Marshall that he always seems to have. Maybe he can look for a pick onto Forsaken first. Forsaken will try to challenge him here, and yeah, he's just going to take him down. Easy as that.
What's going to be scary coming into this next round is Forsaken's 1 away from his Rolling Thunder already. And so that's going to be something that T1 has to consider. How do they want to play this? Do they want to contest, the Sea Orb or something like that to see if they can prevent that from happening? Because that could be one of those factors that leads to a bonus conversion here for Paper Rex if they can get that Rolling Thunder online and use it to take over a site. Now, Paper Rex isn't always going to play that way. They'll mess with your minds a little bit. You'll think they're going to play for an orb, but actually they're just going to come right at you. So that's what makes this team so difficult to go up against. You can see Excurrent, they've got 3, in fact 4 if you count the door. A little bit of damage done trying to contest this orb.
They are going to put up the smoke here, and something just going to tap in it now. Here comes the contest from the side of T1, trying to get on top of something, but something with the Guardian is just lining them up, picks up 2. But it is going to be traded back pretty heavily by the side of T1, as they do at least pick up some kills after something picks up his 2. But now on the wraparound here, Carpe trying to push on in, but you can see that Paper X is already on the A site.
Yeah, and they're going to give the spike over to Forsaken to get the Rolling Thunder. Should be a clean plant. It's going to be a difficult retake here for Excurrent and Carpe.
I mean, I don't even know how you approach this one with the Rolling Thunder, as you mentioned. I mean, Forsaken just going to play down on drop, and you see the door is going to spin right here. Devi looking to pressure here, and he will pick up that kill on a Carpe. And now everything falls on the shoulders of Excurrent.
Extremely difficult.
This is not easy. Oh, he is in so much trouble. I mean, he's getting hit by everything, and down he will go. Only had 50 health, and they win the bonus with 2 people alive, and they hold on to the Rolling Thunder. Already, Paper X is off to a fantastic start.
Yeah, this is brutal, man. And already the younger brother is going to win over his older brother here. A great start for something. Anticipating that there was going to be a player wrapping around his right through Mound. Read that very nicely. Just got what he could done. Devi winning over on the other side of the map onto A allows him to pick up that Vandal as well. Now Saya player going to have to go for the Outlaw, but it is full armors here for Paper Rex. So going to take 2 shots, most likely, to get a player down.
Unless he just goes for a blind headshot, that could be nice. But yeah, with the smoke in his face, not going to be easy. We do have a nice stack here from the side of T1, as it does look like Paper X should be pushing through tree and in onto the A site. As here comes something looking to open up the site. He's going to get on in, but he gets shot in the side of the head by Izu Sheriff, but now Devi trying to line them up, and Jing and the rest of the team is able to get on in there in due time. Just kind of running in front of Excurrent there. Not sure what was going on, but Excurrent will pick up a Vandal now.
Well, this is extremely difficult for Excurrent, especially with 3 of them looking at him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much you can do there. I mean, and the whole time, as soon as they got to tree, as soon as Paper X got to tree, immediately Forsaken turns his back and watches that A lobby door. Like the whole round, he's expecting his brother to be wrapping around. And even though he loses the battle, gives that extra information and time over to the rest of Paper X to set up that 3-man peak. So good stuff from them. Excurrent is going to have his tour de force, but problem is that you've got a ton of really good ults for Paper X.
Yeah, you definitely do, especially if they come at you pretty fast. You got a showstopper just to say no. The Odin spray is going to come through from the side of Devi. And already getting some extra damage here on a Carpe. We do have X-Ray pushing up with the tour de force, but there is a bird in his face, and oh, something, a very rare drop shot there. Not quite gonna line it up, but X-Ray still gonna go down without being able to TP back, and now Saya trying to get in, and Jing is gonna take him down, and Jing is just pressing his W key and running at T1. Izza does trade one back, but still advantage Paper X.
That was so incredible. The movement from Jing there. He is just the best in the business when it comes to those blast packs. Nobody resets after the blast packs like him. Just unbelievable that he's able to win that fight out in the open. Now you get the plant down on the B. Mind Freak gets Rossi.
Yeah, now, I mean, Izza, you're 30 health. You've got a Vandal. Your economy's in the toilet. You're going 1v3. I don't know if you really want to challenge this, but he is going to at least try. Oh, he's going to take a little peek and then just back away. So Paper X sitting on the cusp of 5 rounds in a row already. Keep in mind, T1, you know, they picked Lotus into Paper X. I think it was always going to be a risk, but this has been comfort for them. So far, it hasn't looked very comfortable.
Yeah, and it's some brilliant flashes here from Paper X that set up the ability for them to really take the space that they need to get the positive angles, the better of that fight, right? And so that's what makes this comp so scary right now, is you have so much util to contest this space. You can see there also Saya goes for the showstopper, but he missed a little bit. That is just unreal what Jing just did with that blast pack.
Yeah, I think that's a good time for a timeout.
Yeah.
I think that's a good time. Yeah.
Going a bit sideways.
Yeah. What can you say? I think you got to calm things down here on the side of T1. This has not looked like what they had practiced, I would imagine, if you're the coaches watching on. And so take a little time to just talk with the players and try to break it down. But it certainly does feel like Paper X haven't really missed a beat since last bunch of days that they have played. And that's when they're scariest, when they get that ball rolling.
Exactly. It's so difficult to play against this team when they're really just firing on all cylinders, when everything seems to be going well, when their shots are landing. You know, yeah, something missed one in there, but still, the follow-up was amazing. You know, everybody's kind of taking different angles, making it so that if T1 contests that space, like if T1 doesn't get to rubble first there, then they're in a world of trouble, especially because Saya's showstopper doesn't hit anybody. It's like Paper X is so good about reading situations. It's like they know that showstopper is coming, so they just, the players who are likely to get hit by it back off. Jing, as soon as the opponent showstopper gets popped, he pops his own, because then he can get up in the air, and pretty impossible to hit a flying raise out of the air with a showstopper. So it's just good counter plays. And now you still have that Rolling Thunder. You still have Seekers from Devi. Just a Nightfall for ults to speak of for T1. Jing. Oh man. For X-Curate there. Just got baited out in the open.
He really did. I mean, they're trying to punish Jing, and it's not going well, as he's just going to peek the right side, and they are not ready for it. And he's just going to take 2 down, and now Rossi's like, well, I got my hand on my cheek. Just not feeling good. Obviously, this wasn't a big buy round from the side of T1 or anything, but they all try to peek the ball at the same time, and Paper X is ready for it.
It's just insane how quick that was from Jing, too. He has just been getting better and better and better, and that's so scary for every other team, not just here in Pacific, but in the world. Go up against that, and something with an operator. Rossi
he knows.
He knows. Rossi's going to try to use the toxic screen to find some value. He does.
Okay. He's gonna, well, he's going to get shot in the back by something, as he's going to get trailblazered by Devi as well. 6-0 here for the side of Paper X. And this might be the most important round yet. After the timeout, now you're on a bye round. T1 need to step up to this team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're going to contest rubble, you might want to do it a little bit more of a delayed kind of hit. See if you can bait a little bit of that utility out of Paper X first and then go for your push. But instead, it is going to be a full-on C hit for Paper X. They're just going to change directions. They're going to just use the S key instead of the D key here to push through the map, and they are just on it. Rossi going to slow things up as much as he can, but there's that Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, that's going to push him back. Rossi has to back out of that. He also got hit by it, so now something is running into the back of the site. He's going to be taken down by Carpe, though. Now we got the Nightfall coming in here from the side of T1, trying to look to retake this one, but no plant just yet from from the side of Paper X.
I think Paper X expected it. They backed all the way up into the water here to avoid that Nightfall. Prowler is going to catch Jing, delay the plan a little bit more.
I mean, at the end of the day, the Nightfall essentially just allows time for the rest of T1 to get in, but not quite a lot of value, as you were mentioning, as Paper X seemed very ready for that one. Let's see how T1 want to approach this, as the Paranoia is going to hit a lot of them as they do move on in. Jing up on top of the site, looking to challenge, takes the one, has the showstopper, and Mindfreak is helping out as well, but Izza trying to trade one back, but on the top of this one of the box, Devi and Mindfreak just going to take out all the other members. It was too obvious. Paper X are now 7-0.
I mean, the coordination from Paper X with their utility here is so beautiful. It's first with Devi using his flash, or excuse me, the first the Paranoia from Mindfreak, then it's Devi with his flash, and then that gives the ability for Jing to get a kill, get his showstopper. It's just like the dominoes just fall perfectly for Paper X there, and then you just start mowing you down. It's such an incredible team to watch them play off of each other, to play so well coordinated like that in the heat of the moment.
Ooh.
Okay, that is nasty.
Zaya's angry, and that was just made very clear. Just a headshot with the Marshal through some smoke, no big deal. Let's see if they can build something off of this, but Forsaken is going to vandal one down, and now Paper X, the quick rotation on in, and Jing is right in his face. Down with the Zaya player in the Raze v Raze battle. That'll be an easy plant on a B.
What do you do against that? I mean, Jing is just so nuts, man. It's so tough to anticipate that. Speaking of.
And they're protecting him so well, like Mindfreak gets into kind of a sticky situation. T1 try to run them down, 2v1, it's just not gonna happen.
You're not weak.
And now Izza gonna put up the smoke. He's trying to hit some shot with the Sheriff, and instead he just gets shortied down by Jing. It is now 8-0.
Yep. It's so tough. I mean, you can't really get much momentum going as T1. You get a sweet shot from Saya to set up this play, potentially, maybe get a thrifty, maybe get something going, but Jing just not having any of it. And they're just so willing to bait and trade for each other. It's just beautiful to watch this team play. I mean, they're so in sync right now. It's just outrageous. Let's see if something with this op is going to be able to win a duel against Xcure, potentially.
Something is not going to hit that one. Absolutely a very difficult shot to hit. Jing going to get another orb. He just used the showstopper 2 rounds ago, I think. Well, he's almost got it again. he's almost got it ready for yet another push. Just a couple away.
That's so brutal. I mean, that's going to be, what, his 3rd or 4th showstopper?
Yeah.
That's it's not fair, man.
It's pretty oppressive, I would say. We do have Xcure over here, the operator of his zone. Will he be ready for this push? As that, he's in a bit of trouble, but he can always TP back. And he is going to run away out of that, feels the pressure, tries to get back to safety, but he's the only one on A right now, and he's just trying to run away and wait for his teammates to rotate over and help him.
Yeah, this is a very different look now from T1. Let's see if they can find some value. Good shot from Xcure.
Okay. Looks like T1 finally finding some momentum here. It's 5v3. The spike is planted, but Xcure here on drop. Not sure that they know 100% that he has dropped down there. Devi going to be looking to hold this angle. See Saya. Xcure picks up another one, and now it's only up to Jing. Can he do it? No, he will not. And finally, T1 will get on the board.
Yeah, so a nice change up here. I mean, let's hope it's not too little too late for T1, but this time around, you know, they're playing a little bit more cautiously. They give up rubble control, but the plan is then to push the rest of the map. As soon as they feel that contact for Paper X, this is something that teams like Team Secret have identified with Paper X, that they can tunnel, especially if they start playing well, and they'll just kind of, I mean, do what they're literally known for, W key at you, just pick a direction and go. And so you can use that against them. And so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's a little bit of what Alex is going to want to address here. He's going to say, okay, you know, he doesn't mind that the team does these kind of things, that they just pick a direction and go. He talked about the momentum that they need to keep, you know, map to map for this team to be successful. So part of that is just letting them try to contest you, try to take these duels, try to take these battles and win them, but make sure you're watching your flanks. It's probably something he's going to mention pretty quickly here. And that's something we saw early with Forsaken. He was doing a good job of instantly turning and watching, but this time around, they weren't really prepared for it.
Yeah, I mean, especially if it feels like you're pushing in and nobody's there, and it's like, okay, well, we used all this utility. It might have hit someone, we're not 100% sure. Probably the chamber just TP's back. Like, why is nobody here? Why is nobody pressuring us? They're probably rotating on us, right? So I think having that proactive information and communicating that within the team will be good. Keep in mind, guys, this was another T1 timeout. So even after the win in the round, they take some time to further break things down. And unfortunately for them, that's going to be their last time out here on this map.
Yeah, and you've got dueling showstoppers again. Last time it was Jing who got the better of Saya player. In that regard, let's see what the plan is going to be. It's Paper Rex looking to once again pressure the angle of Xcurit. He's going to spray the T1 spray, expecting a potential jump up onto that box. But instead, he's just going to have to TP out that flash. All this contact, the showstopper right in his back.
Whoa! Nice.
I mean, he just knew. Like, it was almost like he saw ahead of time exactly how he was going to run through Waterfall. And Jing is just going to pick up 2 just like that. You know, expect the chamber to try to get in there, get contact, win the trade potentially, maybe get a pick, and then delay. But that is not what happened, as we did have a Boombot kill as well. It's all up to Rossi. You can hear Forsaken rotating on him. There's the flash, but he's still going to line it up. And now 1v2. Rossi doesn't know if they're further rotating on him, and now with the stack on the site. That will be another Paper X win here, 9-1.
I mean, you see this all the time where you're just not ready for Paper X to keep going. And this isn't any fault to T1. I'm not criticizing anybody here. This happens to every team in the world. And Jing just takes advantage of it, you know, gets the showstopper kill, and then immediately is heading for their spawn to get the pick and then fall back. And it's hard to be ready for that. It's hard to, you know, because very few teams, very few players anywhere in the world, even in ranked games, don't do that. You know, so that's what makes it so difficult to play against them.
And now, trying to get aggressive through the pillars onto B, but doesn't look like they're going to continue on that just yet. Bit of a stack here, all 5 members. We did have Forsaken checking over at A, and now Xcurit looking to push out. Maybe look for a pick of his own, but he's not looking the right way, and now something gonna take him down. That's an easy headshot, and now Mindfreak on the lurk picks up 2 for himself, a double headshot. Ooh. And something is going to get onto the site. Zaya can't hit anything, and it's just free. Paper X are just running at them and taking them down bit by bit.
They know the economic situation. They want to take this gun away from Rossi.
Oh yeah.
They are just on the hunt, a pack of wolves.
And Rossi can't run forever. He's gonna look for some trades. He does get 3 actually, as they were all stacking for that. But as you mentioned, I don't think Paper X care, because there's only 1 round in the half. So they could lose all their guns and buy them up once again.
Yeah, the cash was overflowing, so they can afford to do those kind of things. I mean, it's a 6 spray from Rossi, but you get a dink there onto something. 3 players go down, but you can see that this is when you have to be scared of Paper X, is when they're laughing and having a good time.
When the cackles begin, that's when you know it's kind of over for you, at least on this map potentially. We'll have to wait and see if T1 have any hope of coming back. But for now, it's not looking too likely. Paper X gonna push in through rubble, and this time once again T1 are just going to say, okay, you have rubble, that's fine. You can see that Izza already is pushed out all the way through B, and the rotation is coming in, so they are fully expecting Paper X to commit here, and they have Izza to check for any further rotations.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting that we've stalled a little bit. This might give Izza a free kill. Yeah, nice patience here, expecting that maybe now finally Paper X is gonna pump the brakes and rotate a bit. Oh no!
Well, they're going to try to challenge Jing, and that has just not worked out for them at all today. And they are not going to feel good about that play at all, as now Saya is going to hit him in the face with a rocket, but it's still going to be a Paper X round. 11-1 at the half.
I mean, it's insane that Paper X can just embarrass teams on this map, and teams who are really good on this map like T1. The last time these 2 teams played earlier in this stage, T1 actually pushed Paper X pretty well on this map. I think it was like 13-10 or something like that. and it looked pretty decent from T1. It looks like they just need to make a few tweaks, a few changes, but Forsaken wasn't kidding when he said he thought he had a good read on his brother. They're just destroying him. I mean, yes, it helps that Jing is playing out of his mind, but there's more to it than that. I mean, I think this distinct kind of fast hit style that they're showing, especially if they make contact with Excurate, that's their go condition, because they know he's likely to be alone or maybe just have like one player there backing him up because of how much trust and how much faith they have in Excurate to be able to lock down positions as a chamber, but it's just too overwhelming. And I think this is really, really smart stuff from Paper Rex, the way that they are just punishing these setups from T1.
Yeah, they're making it look easy too. And I think that T1, you know, this might not be their map, and now after this, they got to go into Sunset as well, up against Paper X, which is yet another strong map for them. So I think you're hoping for a lot more on this one, and you're going to have to take it to Paper X on their map pick, which is not going to be easy to say the least. But let's see how the rest of this map is going to finish off first. As now we do have T1 on the attack.
Look at Jing, 19, 6, and 2. I mean, just unbelievable what a half he put up. It's hard to do it any better than that, folks. That's about as good as it gets.
Yep. And he looked very calm the entire time. You know, he's not overreacting. He's like, yeah, no, that's just me. It's just Jing, you know,
That's typical Jing, man. He can have the sickest plays you'll ever see, and he's just gives you a little nod, maybe a smile if you're lucky.
Little fist bump.
Yep.
Thanks for the support. I appreciate
Please
your
don't
flash.
steal my ace.
Well, T1, they feel the pressure over at Mound. Not sure if they know 100% that something was hanging out in the corner behind the box, but now they're going to slowly rotate over towards A. As Forsaken, the baby door is already down. He's
Halo,
going to get first contact here onto T1.
They seem so aware.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Oh, no. And now we do have Divine holding this corner, so T1 able to break into the site. Mind Freak is going to hear all of this. And Excurate is just backing and dropping. Mind Freak gets a second onto the low health member. Carpe trying to hold it down, just trade one back. So now they will go for the plant. Saya on half HP is going to hear the member of Paper X running on in. Jing is going to be taken down by Carpe. And it's up to something. 1v2, we got the stack, but it is just going to go down to Carpe. Picks up a 4K in the pistol round, and T1 finally get their second round.
Well, of the must-win pistol rounds, it's nice to get that one. A lot of work yet to be done.
Welcome,
but
Skypter.
yeah, good reactions here from T1. I mean, really anticipating the positions of Paper X very, very nicely. Carpe doesn't actually fully sidestep that paranoia. He just gets the timing correct on when Mind Freak is going to peek off of it and gets the shot, and then is just clean with the rest of it. So really nice stuff here from T1, at least in that round. So look, I know it's been a rough map, but credit where credit's due. That's a good start, and it's going to take a lot to come back into this. But again, you want to get more rounds here as T1. Get that confidence flowing.
Sure, trying to challenge there. He took a tiny bit of damage. Something also looking to pressure on the side of T1. You see Rossi very low on health now. Something just spamming on through. As now they're going to get on top of him with that Spectre. Not much that Something can do. Saya player entering for his team very well.
Yeah, nice Prowler setup for Saya. Good reaction by Saya to put pressure onto that Marshall. Knowing that if you close the gap, you're going to have a huge advantage. Takes all that space. Gets the kill. Now just a couple sheriffs left here for Paper Rex, but certainly dangerous with those, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if they actually do challenge here. Izu going to take a bit of damage already, as now he does get that first shot. Forsaken charging in with the classic, gets a headshot. As now trying to spam on through. Two members of Paper X still looking to challenge this, still looking for exit kills. But just going to wait. Actually not going to wait. Divine gets in there. He trades one back. Mind Freak trying to do the same, and he will just go down to the spike.
Yeah, but again, it's just good early reads here from T1 that give them the opportunity to get the plant down. That's what you need to see. You need to get these moments going. See Saya still very much engaged. He's always giving it his all. No doubt that T1 is trying their damnedest. But, you know, I always say this, you shouldn't feel bad if you lose to Paper X. Like it's so difficult, especially when they're playing like this, man. But already the op, so the early investment here, and you have to go big or go home here for T1, a borderline must-win bonus. So certainly a wise decision. You might as well go for it because, you know, if you lose this round, then
yeah,
your money's not going to be there. And there's a good chance that it's just go home, go to the next map.
Almost certainly. And T1, once again, you know, they set up the toxic screen over on C. Now they're looking to challenge through rubble. Not quite going to get the kill, but at least Jing does spot them alongside a Devi who have been holding the site. And that's going to be that op kill from the side of X-Curate now, and they do get onto the site here. Devi left alone for now. Let's see if he waits for his teammates. Looks like he will. Saya doesn't seem to want to wait for anything, and now Devi won't either. He's going to jump down and get taken out in due time. Something, though, does trade here onto X-Curate over at Rubble, and now up top Forsaken. He does land one, but only the one, as the two last members here of Paper X looking to challenge. Something. Gonna meet Rossi. Rossi not looking the right way. Now Mind Freak has been so clutch. He's going to pick up a kill, and now Saya alone is not looking the right way. And Paper X will pick up the round.
I was so ready to just be so happy about what T1 did there. I mean, they read Jing's position so nicely. You know, Rossi pulls the Poison Cloud down, and X-Curate there just watching, knowing the tendencies of Jing. Loves to get up close and personal out of those stairs, but I mean, just the angles here that Paper X takes, the patience they have, actually, genuinely, this is like good patience from Mind Freak and something. Start pushing in towards spawn, expecting those flank angles, and you know, T1 just, again, isn't ready for the positioning of Paper X, and it's been a theme. You know, whether it was Jing in this round, it's something that are catching you in unexpected moments.
So we do have a timeout from Paper X. I mean, the beginning of that round, as you mentioned, it felt very nice for the side of T1. And so it looks like Alex maybe not expecting them to win that round, and they are going to take a timeout here, even though it is 12-3, and just discuss a little bit of what they want to do to take that last round and potentially even going into sunset, you know, a little bit of preparation.
Ayo, satu lagi.
For now, this is looking pretty much like a done deal, especially the way that the rounds have been going.
Yeah, and I think Alex, in my mind, might be wanting to address some of those individual battles that players were taking at the beginning, whether it was Jing kind of holding too long on the stairs, Devi trying to make a play for himself off of the rope, things like that, saying wait for your teammates a little bit more, let's be a little bit more coordinated, a little bit more patient, let's make sure we're playing together. That is my suspicion as to what that timeout might have been about, to be honest. I think he might have popped that like after Devi died, because you don't see Devi do that too often, where he tries to set himself up, and you know, Alex might be going, I know you guys are ahead, but let's you know, tighten it up here.
Yeah, I think the earlier and the more often you can try to do that, the better. As Something is still going to win that one. X-Curate not able to punish him.
Good God.
After missing the first shot, sticking around, X-Curate challenging him. Something's like putting another bullet in the gun real slow.
Well,
gets another kill.
Oh my God.
Oh, what?
Just the timing through the smoke. I mean, X-Curate doesn't do anything wrong here, in my opinion. He knows that if the dash doesn't get popped by something, he should be able to punish it. He just can't in time.
Keyword being should.
Yep.
I guess. Just unfortunately, unfortunate for him, he wasn't able to punish something there. And now the story is being held from the side of Paper X, and they got a lineup here as well. Saya going to be going down. It's only 2 members left on the side. There's shut down by Devi. That's going to do it. 13-3 here for map number 1 in favor of Paper X.
Homie, oh my. What a fearsome team this is right now, going up against one of the best teams on Lotus we have here in Pacific, and making them look like this is one of their worst maps. I mean, it is just unreal what they are doing to teams right now.
Seru nih derby SUSANTO, cok.
Unbelievable domination from the side of Paper X. We are done here for the first map. Let's go over to the analyst desk to break down that first one.
Lotus belongs to Paper X. as officially as of today, after 3 days of this kind of performance on Lotus, they've just shown how Lotus should be done. And you know, this is what happens when you have Paper Rex playing all their strongest agents. You got something on Jet, you got Raze on Jing, you got Sky on Devi, etc. And Forsaken's just good at everything.
Like you're saying, it's Raze on Jing instead of Jing on Raze, because they are basically one and the same at this point. Yes, they have just molded it together. This is just, again, immaculate play. We were talking about it during the ban pick. It just felt like Paper Rex won the draft because, yeah, Lotus is really good for T1 typically, but it's also really, really good for Paper Rex. And I think the biggest indicator here to show just how in control Paper Rex was is look at the first kills.
Wah.
Paper Rex didn't have that many.
First kill.
T1 had a ton of them. 10 first kills, only 3 rounds won. They could not get an advantage and then convert that into a win at all.
Yeah, it just feels like whenever Paper Rex would try to pick up a site, right? T1 gets that first kill, and then they're like, let's just go the other way. And they can't seem to just follow that rotation or cut off that rotation. It's just like there's this fist that's going in your direction. Sure, it gets like deflected a little bit and still gets, you know, a sucker punch to the face.
I think one of the biggest things is that, taking a look at the statistics, the X-Curate, I think 4 out of his 9 kills were first kills. So he starts things off really well. He finds that opening pick, but then all of Paper Rex just end up running in his direction. So he instantly gets traded. Then they're in on a site, and then they have defensive setups as the plant gets ready to come through. I mean, they were having way too much fun in this game. You saw, you know, before that first half had concluded, they had the C site open. Rossi was the only person alive. They said, you know what? Screw it. 5-man push him. Hunt him down. We are a wolf pack, and we shall feast tonight. And feast they did. Rossi did pick up 3. It was almost looking like it was going to be a big major embarrassment where they just end up handing him an ace on a silver platter. But they were just so laissez-faire in this game. You know, Paper Rex, when they are this comfortable, when they are having this much fun, that is when they are at their deadliest.
Oh, 100%. They are vibing right now. And you guys have all mentioned it. The casters have mentioned it. T1 is really good at this map. And it didn't look like that when you're playing against this form of Paper Rex. You know, we kind of saw this with Sunset happening during kickoff and in Madrid. And now we're seeing it happen with Lotus right now. And, you know, they're just building up their map pool. This is a very different Paper Rex from the beginning of the year already.
Yeah, and what's even more annoying, I think, for T1 specifically is it feels like Paper Rex read them down. Like they somehow got the horoscope, they read their palms, and they know exactly what the future is. There was a position where we saw... Yes. There was a play where we saw X-Grid holding outside of tree on the door, and then before he can even get any contact, he gets smoked up in front of him by Mind Freak. There was a stun from Forsaken here, and that kind of happened multiple times, and you saw just, I don't know if X-Grid was frustrated because of that, but it felt like frustrating if you were in his shoes just because he can't get a shot off after the initial one.
Absolutely. You know what? I had a quick chat with Forsaken before they went into this match. He was really relaxed. He said, I know Kevin, and he's my brother. I know what he's going to do. I just find it curious that it doesn't go both ways. And they're going to kind of need that, especially going into Sunset.
Yes, guys.
And Paper Rex is really good at Sunset, too.
Yeah, now the big curiosity for me in regards to Paper Rex is what Alex said during our interview and what we've kind of witnessed from Paper Rex hold true, in that they start off really hot. They have these just bangers, these heater first maps, and then it really fizzles out quickly, and then they end up dropping a map and they have to recollect and they come out hot again for that third one. Or can they actually maintain momentum going all the way through? I think that there is going to be some added motivation behind this because of what you're mentioning. There is that familial aspect where it's like, okay, I want to be able to just crush my older brother in this game. I want to be able to defeat him 2-0, get ourselves into that grand final. But we have to just wait and see, because we have seen this multiple times. You know, Paper Rex, they got the 13-0 over Talon. Talon was able to rally back and come up with the victory in the follow-up map, which was PRX's pick of Bind. So they aren't necessarily immune. The series is not by any metric over. But if Paper Rex can work the magic, if they can have that motivation carry over from the first map into the second one at long last, then it certainly is going to be done so.
Yeah, Asher, what do you make of this? Because during our interview with Alex, he also mentioned some of the strengths that Talon had and, you know, how that made them less predictable for Paper Rex, who is also an unpredictable team. Is this something you think that T1's capable of?
So the thing is, he was talking about how quick the rotations was from Talon, right? And that was kind of a lot because of how just Governor plays, especially when he's on the Neon. But with T1 here, and this is, also akin to how Paper Rex have kind of just left Forsaken not playing on the Cypher anymore. He's played on the Breach. And my point being is, T1 likes to go for those lurks, but it takes a while when you consider how fast Paper Rex just runs into the site. This is why they don't really have that, that traditional sentinel, because they just don't really care about that flank anymore. If it happens, it's going to come after they already gotten the site, after they've gotten that post plant. So it's going to rely a lot on speed, but that speed might not be coming out from T1 that's just not, used to it or just not there yet.
All right, and before we continue any further, we got ranking up to do for us.
Yeah.
We got a guessing game, and it's about the two Susantes. We got X-Curate and Forsaken. Who's going to have the higher ACS on Sunset? Now, this is going to be a very interesting prediction.
3x for a tie is far too low, because the odds of them having the exact same ACS is pretty astronomical, but it has happened.
It could happen. Today could be the day.
This is genuinely a pretty challenging one, because I'm expecting Forsaken to play the Breach, I'm expecting X-Curate to play the Cypher.
Correct.
But they have both had somewhat polarizing performances on the map, where Forsaken has had moments where he's the top fragger, but he's also had ones where he's the bottom fragger and he's only got like a little above 100 ACS.
Right?
So yeah, he's had like up to like 230 ACS and then as low as like 115. Whereas I feel like X-Curate has widely been a little bit more kind of consistent mid-table. I'm basically banking on, I feel like, if I think the motivation is going to carry over. Or
Okay.
I don't know.
I agree with this. Also, just write down if you're going to double down. Production is allowing us to.
There's no
double
reason
down
for
if
me
we
to
want
not, so.
There's no reason for me not to.
And yeah.
This is my last day as well.
Oh, you're going. Okay, you're going big right now. Okay.
Yeah. I gotta reach the heights that I've never reached before.
What they should let you do is they should let you put a certain amount of tiers on the line since you're not at the bottom. So you should say, like, I will fall 4 tiers, but if I win, I gain 4 tiers.
That is insane.
So if it's a tie, do we fall 3 tiers?
Okay, production has confirmed yes. Well, no concerns for me. I'm going Forsaken.
Oh, I have gone X-Curate a double down.
I have doubled down on X-Curate.
Oh.
Why are you picking
I messed up my
X-Curate?
R a little bit, but
That's okay. I actually almost
Good thing you're more of a speaker.
Yeah, for me, it's wrong spelling X-Curate too, by the way. Isn't it like 2 C's and 1 R?
Yes.
Oh, it is. I was just making fun of you. That's what I get.
Okay, so for me,
I've
gone the
failed.
paper thin route of what I thought was going to be my first choice will be now the reverse of that, which is Forsaken first and then this one X-Curate.
Okay. Okay.
Mine's simple. The audience is in Ascendant. I'm in Iron. I'm just going to go with the audience because it seems to be working out for them. And also, I think that they will actually come into this one and have some momentum behind them.
I think X-Curate on. Is he still playing the
Yes.
Cypher? Yes. So I think a Cypher is just kind of poised for more kills and maybe higher ACS than a Breach.
I mean,
anyway, sorry.
Yeah, to add just real quick, he lurks a lot more. He gets that first contact first, and then we've seen how Cyphers get that multi-kill, especially when they're going to be, especially if, I don't know, it's just here on Sunset. I thought they were going to be starting on defense, but they're going to be on attack. Doesn't matter, still going to go for those lurks and get more kills than Forsaken, who's going to be bouncing it off for Jing.
Exactly. So I did alert the brothers to this guessing game today. And I asked Paper Rex to please help. I know, I switched my vote. Okay, it doesn't even matter anymore. But I did ask them originally to help Forsaken, so if they do it today, then you're good.
I think in every otate metric, I would have gone for X-Curate here, but for all of the reasons that you're presenting, we have seen the Cyphers coming up huge, especially just anchoring down those B sites, basically making them unassailable. I feel like there's just going to be something different in the air here today. Forsaken, he's going up against his brother once again, hasn't really lost to him ever. They haven't dropped the map, so I think that they got it.
All right, well, we're going to go into the second game of today, and it's been very exciting so far. T1 versus Paper Rex. Let's go over to our lovely, lovely casters.
Thank you, Victoria, Kilios, and Asarai for breaking down that first map and wonderful guess and gain. there as well. We'll see
who would you go for here?
Forsaken.
Yeah, I'd go for
100%.
Forsaken. Yeah.
After seeing that first map, I don't know. If you're playing and saying, okay, Paper X, they're going to overheat, they're going to do some crazy stuff, and you know, get a little crazy on this map and maybe 2-1 come back, then I'd say maybe, you know, maybe that begins with X-Curate. But
and also Forsaken was, I think, the top in ACS, or no, he was second in ACS behind Jing the last time they played Sunset. So he popped off pretty hard on this map against Talon. And now T1 going to stabilize. By the way, T1 has never taken a map off of Paper X. Just went through and looked, and they have yet to do so ever in any tournament.
Never. As something is going to challenge them with his little buddy. We also got Forsaken right there to swing as well. Not to mention that Jing also was coming in from the other side. Mindfreak going to get that kill in mid, as this is a very one-sided pistol round, and kind of avoiding them there for a second. Carpe will eventually go down. So 3K for Forsaken, already a good start for him. And Paper X are on the board again.
And these util combos from Paper X are so devastating. I mean, Forsaken looks so comfortable on Breach, not just because he's getting kills, but he's helping out set up these plays. I mean, the fault line to back up the wingman here, and he's getting a bunch of stuns and getting a bunch of kills. I mean, he gets some assists there as well from something, but then he swings back into mid, and they're covering each other's angles.
He said, I knew it, man. I'm
I
pretty
knew
sure.
it. Yeah, he knew.
Probably just knew the push was coming in, and as you mentioned, his utility able to get on in there. The fault line able to really give them no shot. And now T1 trying to push on in, hiding behind the box is Mindfreak, and he has Devi with him as well, just lining him up and taking him down. Moshpit coming down here as well. Carpe, no hope with his own classic. X-Curate does have a nice little angle here. He's behind them on B. I don't think they're going to expect this at all. And they might be very confused, although Mindfreak is looking behind. X-Curate will pick up one. There's a second, but still going to go the way of something and Paper X.
What Devi's just turning? I don't know what's going on with Devi there, if he's looking at the map or what, but he never seemingly reacted. That's, you know, two weakened players there. Make it a little bit easier. Those headshots with the Ghost, though, hit pretty hard. Good setup here. You'll see this a lot where teams like to get right behind that box in B lobby. B main, excuse me, it just shut people down from that angle. So, yep, okay. Got that round. Now it's rifles in hand for T1. Another thing, pistols have been going a lot better for Paper X here so far today. 2-1 on those so far. And that was probably about the only thing you could really fault them for against DRX. I mean, the Ascent, yeah, they lost it, but
yeah,
it still looked generally pretty good.
And even when they were losing the pistols, they would win the next rounds. It was kind of strange. Maybe DRX faltering a bit there as well. Something pushing out here. Let's see if X-Curate can get first contact and listen to this as well. But that is going to be something with a quick one-tap headshot with the Guardian. And already, Paper X are in the driver's seat.
It's so tough. And then, you know, something is able to re-clear mid there with his utility, make sure that Tiles wasn't being pressured, swinging all the way over to A. He's going to have to seed one of his little buddies, but the push through mid now as the door closes gives T1 the feeling that maybe they're a little bit comfortable, but help swinging from potentially something. Oh, what a shot from Saya.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, excellently done. That's going to give them access here to just run straight onto A. Something is going to hear them running on in. Looking to potentially get in a little bit earlier before they're ready. That's another Guardian headshot. Make that 2 now for the side of something, and gives them a chance here for the retake.
He's so good at his timings. I mean, obviously you can hear him, but he pushes perfectly. Paranoia to back him off for Saya.
Yeah, Saya's getting in there. He's trying to challenge. He's got a little bit of help as Paranoia is going to come out, and now something picks up 4 in total. Nearly gets the ace as Rossi tries to hold it down from the cubby. Let's see if he can actually get it done. 1v1. It's only Mindfreak left. Mindfreak's going to tap onto this one. As we do have the fragment coming out. He's going to get it to half already, though. And he's going to have to step
I'm
up
back,
here in just a little
guys.
bit. He's trying to get that kill first, but it's not
Dolo.
going to happen. Rossi picks up the 4K clutch.
What a clutch here from Rossi. I mean, it looked like it might be done and dusted. A brilliant paranoia from Mindfreak as he gets into the flank of T1. Great opener for Saya, anticipating that angle of Forsaken. And that second shot was filthy. Jing trying to work his magic with the blast packs into Rossi's face, but Rossi able to readjust in time and then plays the spike plant to perfection. Throws the nade, gets some extra damage, but it was ticking so fast. Mindfreak didn't have much. He either had to hold it or get lucky, and a good opener from something. Just walks out there.
Just walks at them and shoots him down. And now, T1, will they commit onto this B site? Obviously not very easy on this map. We do have the smoke coming up here from both the sides. As it looks like Divine might want to challenge here with the Stinger, but there are 4 members of T1 ready to go on the push, but that is an early kill already as the Thrash will come out, and Divine is staying alive. He's going to put up a wall as well. They're going to have to shoot that one down, but no entry yet for the side of T1.
I mean, Devi's just running through the smokes, fearless. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
What is happening here?
Oh my God.
They're just running into him, and he's just getting free kills with the Stinger. And now Paper X, they're going to pick up an easy 3rd round for themselves. As T1 stubbornly try to push through, and they get punished.
I love this from Devi. I mean, this is what you always have to worry about with something. When he's confident, you know, we saw it. He got X-Curate off the rip in the previous round. And then Devi just with a Stinger and just using these smokes so well.
Sorry,
Whether
guys.
it be his opponents or his own teams. See, big smile out of Devi there. Just messing with him.
I think this is a good time for a timeout. Better than any. I mean, yes, Devi, he was kind of playing with them. He was utilizing the vision control very well. Had a Stinger, knew how to use it perfectly. Had great timing. But the entire team was there, and T1, they already lost a couple of people, and they say, well, we're just going to try to send it, see if we can get some early entry picks. Did not work out, and it fell immediately flat on his face. So I think the coach kind of has to calm them down from here, I would imagine.
I mean, it has to feel like you're going up against Nightcrawler or something there, just with the way he's like popping in and out of smoke, so like he's all over the place. It's absolutely insane. It's usually the controllers who are, you know, working those smokes like that, but this time Devi on the stage just being the smoke criminal. Absolutely nuts. 1 away from a res, something as a Thrash. You do have a no command though here for T1, so it is the eco likely not to use it in this round. But who knows, if things go well, you grab a gun or two, definitely have a good opportunity to maybe shut down some of that retake utility. It's just a matter of getting there for the side of T1.
Yeah, very true. Well, they're going to try to open up B lobby once again. And let's see if they decide to push through. Once again, they have 3 classics, 2 sheriffs, and a dream at this point. They're going to send, looks like X-Curate kind of on his own little mission through tiles, see if he can spot anyone out, maybe look for some long-range sheriff 1-taps. But with the smoke to come down, maybe not going to go for that just yet.
I mean, no doubt that damage can be done here by T1. X-Curate in particular, rather good with those sheriffs. So see if they can find some value. Have to be so cautious though, knowing there's going to be an operator one way or another. Good fault line to slow them up. Look at the stagger utility here to just make this harder for T1 and allow Paper X to get into good positions.
Yeah, they make it look easy. But as you mentioned, perfect staggering. Oh God, he's just trying to jiggle peek and he just gets his head taken off. And now they're gonna totally clear up the site as they knew this push was coming in on the B. And Science hoping for the 1-tap. He is gonna get 1. Can he make it 2? There's 2. Does get the headshot through the wall. And now a little jiggle peek, he is going to be spotted and shot down through a little info booth. As now, Paper X 4th round under their belts.
Yeah, let's see what T1 wants to do here. I mean, you have a showstopper, you have a null command, so you can take space and then, you know, either use that null command as well to guarantee that space, potentially save it for the post plant, and try to kind of stymie the Paper X retake attempt if they go for it. I mean, but as Paper X here, I'm expecting A all the way, but it is just Forsaken, so potentially Paper X is having other ideas about how to handle this. Maybe just considering we're just going to avoid all these ults because they pop both of them right off the rip. Maybe a really good read from Paper X.
Yeah, I mean, Showstopper, it's not going to kill anyone. As you mentioned, they kind of just leave the site open. So it does give entry to the side of T1, but now they don't have that Showstopper. Big rotation coming in around the bend here from the side of Paper X, trying to come in from behind. Meanwhile, Something just going to hold by himself. Going to throw in the Thrash that immediately gets taken down. As now Something going to get blinded by the Dizzy. When he gets out, they're not able to take him down, and now Something's looking for the kill. Not quite going to hit that shot, but now the flank is coming in from the side of Paper X. That's already a kill to the side of Dubai. They finally do take out Forsaken and Something on the back side of this one. Not a lot of time as T1 trying to flood the site once again. In goes Jing looking for it, but he gets shot in the side. Mindfreak trying to pull off the clutch here, and he is going to get another one, make it 3. As not enough time to go for the defuse, but trying to get this kill lastly as Mindfreak will pick up his 4th and then immediately die. It is the round to the side of T1.
But it's so expensive for T1 in so many ways.
Yeah.
Not just with the ultimates, but also with the economy. I mean, yeah, you're going to be able to get half armors and the Vandals in, but you had to spend so much just to get this one round. And it's just brilliant here from Paper X in terms of just making the best of a bad situation. You know, playing for retake the whole way on that A site, expecting the off-the-rip ultimate usage. Even though they have a good flank setup, it looked like it might collapse when Devi got that first kill, but somehow T1's able to stabilize and push through a link. Get a lot of damage done. Jing sees a lot of players there.
Yeah.
The fall line.
Oh, some extra value. Extra. It does get the 1 kill. And now Jing is getting in their face here. Oh, he's going to be blinded, but he still takes down 2 with the Showstopper. Now Rossi trying to clutch it here. He's got a swing. He's going to take him down. It's a little bit of extra damage, but now Mindfreak coming in from behind, and Rossi has no chance. As both those guys so good in the clutch, but Mindfreak taking the unfair fight from behind. But still, Paper X, they do pick that one up as Jing just punishes them outside of A.
I mean, it's so hard because no other team in the world would do this. Like, you get out of there, you think, okay, we'll just leave a player to hold the angle in case he pushes, and then he just keeps going. Showstopper is online, and he's just like, nope, I'm coming for you. And they try to Dizzy to get out, but it's too late. Rossi doing what he can, but
snuff them out.
It's just so brutal, and now because you had to spend everything in that previous round just to get half armors and Vandals, you're back to broke for T1.
Yup.
Oh, the spam through almost catches. Paint Shells will force Mindfreak back there, but long lurk from X-Curate. He's gotten pretty deep, but Devi seems aware. Oh, what a play!
Well, they're going to take down X-Curate, but Rossi getting kind of a free classic kill, as now they're trying to potentially flood onto the B site, but we do have that Rolling Thunder utilized here against the eco of T1, and now Saya's going to pick up a Vandal. A chance for him to try to clutch it out, but he does get blinded, and that's going to be the end of him. 3 kills going over to Forsaken. As they do have to, you know, use some stuff to get that round, but still a round win is a round win.
Yeah, I mean, but this utility usage from Forsaken is so brutal. And he's so good to react to, you know, what's going on the map. As soon as he realizes that market's been taken while they're crossing mid, he's like, oh, time to use the Rolling Thunder to bail out Mindfreak, because Mindfreak's probably screaming for help on B side. He's like, they're coming, I'm all alone, please help. And he sets up Mindfreak so nicely. Mindfreak reading the first player, and then the stunned up second player gets 2 big kills. The jump in from Jing is insane!
And they're all aligned. Jing is going to pick up 2. Does get punished here by X-Curate on the backside of that, but really nice setup. Just reading once again exactly what T1 are going to do.
It's just not fair, dude. He's just so good at that. There's so few raises that can do what he does, and it's impossible to really always prepare for it. I mean, you could do your best. You can try to set up counter trap plays. X-Curate is going to be able to use the kill on the Jing to get the neural theft, get some information, but it's a very spread out formation here from Paper X, so it's going to make it a little bit tricky for T1 to really identify a weak side. And immediately, Paper X is going to spread into a 2-2.
Yeah. They just spread out and they say, okay, well, that's not going to give you too much information as to exactly where to push. And Just going to try to push through the door. Some early information for the side
Apapun.
of Paper X. As now the Omen ult's committed to, and they're just going to try to wrap back around towards A, actually. Break through the Sage wall.
I like the decisiveness here from Xcurate and T1. They know that that ult is likely to be a flank angle taken by Paper Rex and that they're potentially walking into a trap. So this is good recognition here from T1. Now it's going to have to be another retake for Paper Rex. As spike plant should be uncontested. I don't think something's going to get there in time.
Spike planted.
Very close, but not quite going to happen. Here's the camera as he is trying to challenge here just by himself. But there's the res down to Jing, by the way. And we do have this Thrash coming out now from the side of Carpe. He is going to catch one just to buy some time. But 5 members of Paper X are bearing down on this site. Rossi trying to challenge early. Is once again trying to buy some time, but now the double swing comes out from the side of Paper X, and they easily clean up the site afterwards. Mindfreak with another double headshot as this guy is on fire on this map.
It's just amazing the layers to what Paper X does. You know, it looks like it's a great read from T1, and Paper X has backup plans behind it. They're like, yeah, sure, we're going to seed that site. We're going to commit, you know, to the flank angle in case you take B, but we have the res online, and we know that, you know, it looked like we sacrificed Jing early. I mean, he still gets 2 kills, but the fact is that they have the res to also then pick him up along the way for the retake. That round is actually insanely brilliant from Paper X.
It absolutely is, and that's going to be the second timeout called early on the side of T1. Once again, right after round 9, just to try to bail themselves out. On the first map, it was 8-1 at this point. Now it's 7-2, so slightly closer, but you can see that August still has a ton to say.
Sure. I mean, look, you know it's going to be a tough match coming into Paper X with the form they've been showing this weekend. For sure, you want to try to get some semblance of confidence back here as T1, you know, going into your next match, whatever it may be. Because this doesn't feel good no matter who you are. You know how good the Paper X is, but you want to give them a good showing. You want to keep it close like you did earlier in this stage. But so far, it's been all Paper X all the time. And you are 1 away from a showstopper and a no command here. So some orbs could be challenged for. But that's been another tough thing is Paper X is so aggressive off the rip. It's tough to even get to those orbs because Paper X is cutting you off now.
Yeah.
The good news is that the A orb is a little bit more takeable. It is just Devi and Mindfreak, but stuff to worry about that paranoia. You know, making the wall, of course, potentially going to come up, but for now, just slow orbs. Just a little bit of space given up here as Paper X knew they couldn't contest with that much utility.
Yeah. Paper X pushing out a B as well as Devi is going to say no to that boom bomb, say hello, and then shoot it down. And this push is still coming in onto A, but the full wraparound just coming out from Paper X already through the spawn. And now just going to break down the wall, and Devi's like, hello, I'm here. Who do you think put up that wall? It was me.
It's a showstopper gone too.
Uh-oh. Meanwhile, Jing just going to fly through and maybe just distract him? I'm not sure. Still just going to get the job done as Jing didn't get the kill, but it doesn't quite matter. I don't think he's too bothered.
I don't think so. It's got to be so frustrating. I mean, you know, most teams would be, with that much pressure, would be like, okay, we're going to pull back. We're going to set up for, you know, a post plan or a retake, or maybe try to cut them off as they're planning. Something like that. But instead, Devi's just like, you guys, I know your guys' buy sucks. Like, I'm just going to take advantage of that. And, you know, again, they fed the orb over to Saya player to maybe give themselves a opportunity to Thrifty, and it's just ripped right out from underneath them.
See, this time he's not going to pull out the showstopper right away. He did that on a previous round where they used quite a lot. They got their second round with it. Now he's going to pull out the showstopper just to see. But again, the site is cleared from Paper X. They read this. They say, okay, he's got his ult online. Let's just not be here.
And it's the same idea that we saw the last time the showstopper was there for Paper X. This time they're overwhelming the flank angle. Good paranoia, at least backs him off momentarily.
Yeah, the paranoia is huge, but can they win these duels is the second question. You get yourself some space, but then immediately it's not going to happen. It's now something on the back of the site is just taking everybody down. Xcurate, he's got Saya player with him. Saya does pick up one. Xcurate is going to just wait, try to get some extra value. Picks up 2. He's holding on to the site for now, but now he's up against a showstopper and 2 members on the side of Paper X. Is now going to shoot him in the back, but Mind Freak able to clutch it just barely. As that was getting pretty dangerous, but it's still a Paper X victory.
He was so close. That was so well played by X-Curate. He outguessed them every step of the way. He knew his box wouldn't be checked. It got spammed briefly, but because there was no reaction from him, something assumed it was clear. And then X-Curate just waits. Devi again gets shot in the side of the head, and oof, what a reaction from Mind Freak too. But I mean, they're all just like, "What? Did you not check that corner?" I guarantee that's what that was. Did you not check that corner? And something's like, "Well, I spammed through it, but I just must have missed," you know?
Yeah, they were definitely caught off guard by that. You could tell by their reactions. But Mind Freak, once again, he's so reliable. I feel like he gets stronger the less allies he has alive. Jing is just going to start us off with the first kill. Carpe trying to swing on here, but Mind Freak takes him down. Mind Freak also gets a second onto Rossi immediately after the null command. And once again, the wings are clipped on the side of T1, and there is no momentum for them to continue pushing.
It's...
Last player
I mean, you give up any space, this Paper X team, they're giving... and they just punch right back, dude. I mean, the early part of this round, you know, T1 is lining up for another big A execute, and immediately off the rip, there's like fault lines, paranoias to slow them down, to allow Jing to get to tiles, and then everybody's flooding towards the flanks of T1 through their spawn, and just, it's merciless from Paper X. You give them an inch and they'll take a mile.
Yeah. And so far, T1 have not been able to fight back at all. We saw that DRX was able to in their series and at least, you know, calm things down and go over to Ascent and have a nice map win and kind of challenge this team. But at the moment, we have not seen that really at all from the side of T1. They have a total of 5 rounds so far in 2 maps. So definitely feeling, I would imagine, a bit dejected by the way this one has gone. But as you've said many a time, Clinton, Paper Thin, it's pretty difficult when you're going up against this team.
There you go.
There you go.
Nice. Paper X fans, absolutely, we've been saying a few of those. A few sheeshes come out today. They're just so good, man. It's like when they're really all kind of executing their game plan, reading the maps well, you know, whether it be whoever's kind of calling plays. You know, like they said in the interview yesterday that Forsaken will do like pistols through bonus, maybe a few other kind of meta game calls, but otherwise it's been a lot of like something in Jing calling plays for themselves, and that's given them these confidence, or the confidence to make these moves, right? You see something early in the rounds, taking space, whether it be with an op or just a Guardian, to get those early picks, and then it's like, okay, now we're going to change it up. Now we're going to have Jing do it, and it's going to be Jing's turn to start running them over in the beginning of rounds, and it's just so oppressive.
It's kind of crazy how much value this Breach is getting just across the board, like every single round. It's like, why are we not seeing more of this? And it really does show you that Forsaken really can just play anything. He's like, okay, you need me to play Breach, playing Breach, pulling him out. Playing them to a high level as we did. The Paranoid coming through, and it seems to not matter. Izu is going to be taken down, and the push is not stopped at all. I mean, T1 is over here, and they're trying to swing onto the site. X-Curate does get one, and there's Rossi for a follow-up kill. The cage is going to come down. Forsaken, though, holding onto the site, and they have this plant ready. Nice blast coming out here, and the spam onto the site is not going to work out. T1 do clear it out, and they pick up a pistol for themselves.
Yeah, this is good utility usage here from T1 that gets them this round. The constant staggering of those flashes makes it really difficult for Paper X to ever get comfortable, start holding angles. A couple kills here and there, but otherwise that is another much needed pistol round win for T1. See, it's the over flashes from Rossi, it's the dizzy, it's everything you need here. And they're hitting a lot of Paper X players and then using that wall against Devi, knowing that you have enough room to get up on top of it. Really well thought out by T1.
There's a fan in the audience that is screaming, let's go T1 every single round. I hope...
maybe you can give him his energy. I mean, he's got plenty.
He's trying. He's trying his hardest, as we can tell. And they really do need it at this point. Izu, gonna get a nice check here on the Mind Freak, who was just hanging out by himself in tiles. As now, Saya seems to have a good read on where this repush is going to come in, and Saya's got a Spectre, so that makes it very easy. Carpe there, and Izzu actually, to help out in clearing that.
Just Divide with a Sheriff and 60 health. Already used his heal once. Not going to be able to find anything else. Flawless round for T1, Valdez. I mean, that's okay. It's something. It's a start. And the real question is there any real teeth to this second half for T1? Are they going to be able to string much else together once the guns come into hand for Paper X? That's been all but lights out for them. I mean, they've won 2 gun rounds so far in both these maps. Once in the first half on Lotus, and then one essentially gun v gun round. I mean, they did win, their anti-bonus round, but excuse me, yeah. But other than that, when it's been all evens, they've been having a tough time. And of course, just 2 Bulldogs and some Spectres. A lot to do here for the side of T1. Xcarrot going to try to sneak in up close. See if he can mimic what Divide did earlier. Oh, he just revealed his position, though.
Well, he's still going to get one at least. As now we have the Thrash coming out here. Something looking to open up the back of this site. Not going to get much value.
Oh.
Rossi with a quick headshot, and now out the left side, Jing tries to trade 1 for 1. Something now going to give it his try. As 1 by 1, the Paper X members try to force their way onto the site, and it will not really work out for them.
Yeah, and this might be one of those rounds that Alex isn't going to be thrilled about. Giving up too much to T1. Mindfreak's been insane in clutches, but not this time. Izzu has the better of him. That's a huge round for T1. That's the bonus there as well. So talking about needing to win some rifle rounds. Don't even need rifles to win this one. I thought this might go awry when Xcarrot, had to reveal his position right around the corner, but Carpe just ADS'd in and letting him walk out in front of him. See if maybe there's a little bit of a bounce back here for T1 in this half, right?
Carpe didn't look very happy, but not too much to be happy about. I think this is only the beginning of the comeback, right? Should be happy with that at least, but there's still a lot of work to do, I would imagine, in the mind of Carpe. Now, slow push coming in from the side of Paper X.
Oh, no.
It's now just swinging out the left side, and Izzu can't quite lock it down. Xcarrot gets the 1, but now he's got the spotlight in his face. Xcarrot picks up 2. They're trying to punish him here. It's the boom bomb, not gonna work, but Jing is gonna get in there. He's got a Spectre. Saya also not gonna hit the shot, and Paper X are in onto the A site just like that.
I mean, I get what Xcarrot is thinking there. He has his neural theft, and he's like, if I just find 1 more, I can get it, because he couldn't get the angle for it. Paper X was too quick to react, but instead it ends up costing him, and the backup tries to get there, but it gets shut down as well. It's so ridiculous what Paper X does. And if worst comes to worst, there's a showstopper here for Jing.
He's just got to stay safe until they potentially use that, as Rossi will be spotted, and there's 3 people looking at him. And they do shut it down. That's a thrifty to the side of Paper X. And I thought Alex might call a timeout after that last round, but maybe it's a good thing that he didn't, because they still come back here with a pretty aggressive and dominating next round.
And my guess is he probably liked what he heard in the comms after that round and didn't feel the need to call a timeout. Like, he probably heard them saying, okay, guys, let's stop giving them the free kills there. Let's play off of each other. And you could see there that time, Paper X was working off of each other much, much better. And that's what gets them over the line in that round. And Jing, of course, is just blast packing around your back, and you have to try to 360 on him, and good luck with that.
Yeah. It's not easy with the raise that is that mobile. Xcarrot this time he's going to utilize the camera. Help him out with that now, trying to capitalize on that, not quite able to.
Yeah, the bait play with Izzu set up there off that camera to try to go for the paranoia, but something wise to it. Ducks away just in time. It's a little bit slower round for Paper X. Feeling this out. Oh my god.
Oh, he actually did a bunch of damage to Xcarrot too. I mean, he like, he just knows. He's like, okay, the second guy there, I'm just gonna one-tap him real quick. Let me just chunk his health down to 11, why don't I? And just like that, it's a slow push from Paper X. Something gets a lot of value early on, and they will continue towards A.
It's just so brutal. And they're not going to reveal their presence until that boombot comes out. The fault line hits right onto X-Curate. They've got this solo red, but X-Curate still gets one, gets the neural theft out.
Yeah, that's pretty huge. Does get that going as now the flank is coming in. Saya as well on the back of the site. Double swing here from Carpe and his buddy. T1 have a chance, but oh, Rossi gonna swing a bit early and Divine will punish that.
That angle there, so difficult to read. Hello.
Lots gonna come down and Divine just crispy with it. Gonna take down Carpe and Saya is all alone. He's got a Vandal. And he has a decent shot here. Let's see if he can get it done. The satchel, though, is going to give away his position, and Divine immediately takes him down. That is 12 rounds now to the side of Paper X.
I mean, it's just so
Match point.
It's so frustrating to play against Paper X because of stuff like that you've never seen before. You never anticipated that angle for that utility, and then Divine, the way that he's set up to play against it. It's just such a wide angle. You're not really expecting somebody to hold there. So annoying, and then he just stands there. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna mosh me? That's cool."
Yeah, I've got a gun. This does more damage.
Gun's better than green goo.
Yeah, clearly, at least in the hands of Divine. Here we go once again. Jing is in, and T1 have not cleared the site for this, as it's gonna hit Carpe behind the boxes. And that's going to be a kill over to Forsaken as well. Saya at least able to challenge him, but this is looking pretty much a done deal at this point. Paper X swarming the site. X-Curate desperate, does get a pretty nice first shot. As Jing will take him down though, and it's up to Saya. But there's a resin as well. So now he's got to go 1v4. He's got a thrash in his face. That is one kill over to the side of Saya, but that's going to do it. Paper X.
Let's go.
2-0. Dominance from Paper X. And look out, world. They're back. They are back. W Gaming.
Let's go,
BRX. Of
BRX.
destruction in Pacific. Just a brutal, brutal day.
Derby Susanto dimenangkan oleh Forsaken.
Right from the get-go, they started this match with 8 rounds in a row before T1 could ever find any success.
Woo!
And it never felt comfortable for T1, ever.
It never looks comfortable for them, and they still do not have a map win against Paper X. Paper X with the 2-0 here up against them once again, and it is continued domination in this matchup over the years. As Paper X, they take about it. They don't seem too affected by this. It kind of feels like business as usual for them. And one team is going to have a chance to see them in the finals later on next week.
Look at all the pictures. I mean, so many Paper X.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Respect.
Want to come and see this team because of games like this.
Yeah.
This is what makes them so special.
It is very inspiring. So Paper X take the win 2-0. Let's go over to the analyst desk to break down this match.
This is the Paper X that we know. They are looking absolutely unstoppable by the end of this playoff weekend. And this is the form they're going to be going into this next weekend, into the finals, into Shanghai. A lot of teams should be very worried.
No, they absolutely should be. This is just another dominant showing. Not dropping any maps to T1 in the history of the head-to-head between these two squads. It is an insane feat here from the side of Paper X. Continuously dominant. Forsaken consistently getting the better of his brother, just not dropping anything at all.
Yeah, and the thing is, it carried over from Lotus. You know, we were talking about how it felt like there was a hard download from Paper X here, that everything that T1 was wanting to do, all their setups, all the rotations and everything, it feels like Paper X just have such a good read on it. Like all the positionings for X-Curate gets picked off. All of the sites that, you know, they're going to be pushing in, there's like no players here from T1 just because T1's like stacking somewhere else on the map because, I don't know, they just do not want to get that fight first. They just want to play the retake. I don't know what's happening here, but T1 just doesn't feel like the T1 that we saw was dominant in the previous series.
That's right, but it's hard to look like that T1 when you're facing against a Paper X like this. While they had amazing reads, just the raw firepower. This is the raw firepower that we admire coming from Paper X, and they were completely on form today.
They really were. I mean, that motivation, it carried over from the first map right into the second one. Slowed up a little bit more. There was a couple, decent rounds there for the side of T1, but we're seeing similar scenes where T1 could get an early advantage and then just not able to convert that into a round win. That happened so many times here. There was many moments where they just had that early lead. PaperX maybe make a misplay, but then it just gets away from them.
Yeah, that's right. And, we can see Rossi, we could say the rest T1 trying really hard, but you know what? They're still going to Shanghai anyway. It's fine, and they will be going into the lowers next weekend. So it's not over. It's not the end of the road for T1 at all. And you know what? This is probably a nice taste of when you're on a really good win streak. Sometimes you need an L to help figure out what your mistakes are and how to get better. With that, we also got to figure out how to rank everyone because we both doubled down, and it looked like Forsaken was gonna have the higher ACS, but he didn't. And I love that you were commentating when we got this info, and I just.
We got the digits.
I will actually point out what production has on our teleprompter is incorrect. It's 248, not 284.
Yeah, so there's like
there's only a difference of 7 ACS between them.
So it was very close.
Simply, if Jing in that one round had sussed out that Extrude had tucked in behind the box, which was the only feasible place that he realistically could have gone, and just sent his showstopper and killed him, I would have won. So thank you, Jing.
Yeah, or the one where Device steals the kill from Forsaken when Saya was coming into the site to retake it.
Well, you know what? Thank you, Jing. Not only did our PaperX predictions come true, so did our rank up. Yes! Who should we start with? Oh man, Asura, you are going to Immortal.
I need one more.
I am going to Diamond.
Drag those viewers down.
And they are going down.
Well, they didn't 2x. They can't 2x, so they just go to Diamond.
He is like just... If Raze is one with Jing, Achilles is one with Iron.
Viewers have to go up the Diamond, though. Don't do them dirty. They can't 2x. They don't have that ability.
Oh, yes. Oh, we're together again.
I got you guys.
Okay, there you go.
We're together again.
It was meant to be.
I am down. I am in the slums. I'm in the slime, the muck, the grime. I will still defend the viewers and make sure that you guys are placed properly.
This is why we still like Achilles, despite all the things that he says.
Yeah. It's the only thing that's going for me, so this is why I'm so hyped about it.
But you know what? I'm glad you are. I'm glad you are. We do have one more guessing game in the second match, Gen G and DRX, and that's going to be really exciting too. But the fact that their ACS was so close on Sunset anyway, I mean, I don't think this is, end of the road for Team 1. I don't think this is a bad sign at all. There's no shame in the loss. And it's the same thing with Talon in that 13-0. I think, you see them consistently perform like that on Lotus against all, 3 different teams now. So it's, just PaperX doing PaperX.
There's some cause for concern. I think that look, does this match mean a whole lot? I mean, yes. This would be your ticket into the grand finals. One less step that you have to take to try to get those championship points for winning the stage, and also just a championship point.
Yeah,
lock that one in.
Points.
So, that would be obviously huge for them. They have their tickets to Shanghai already booked. They don't have to worry about getting knocked out of that qualification. That you don't have to have concern over it. But I do have to have concern about their ability to deal with teams that like to just go for these fast hits that are going to be all up in your face, because there's plenty of other squads that are likely to be over at Master Shanghai that are going to be able to do that. If you can't deal with Jing, if you can't deal, with that kind of level of performance, how are you going to fare against Ospas? How is that going to shake out, assuming that they're going to be able to make that qualification? So I think at T1, they do need to be able to dictate pace a hell of a lot better than what was put on display here.
Well, I have to ask you guys now, amongst the 3 Korean teams, they were kind of viewed as the underdog coming into stage 1. Do you still feel that way?
For me, probably not anymore, honestly. Again, there was just that talk about how T1 started rough and whatnot, but they're coming back and swimming. They're here in the playoffs, so that's still pretty big. Gen G and DRX, I don't think there was ever any doubt. Maybe just the fact that DRX just kind of maybe went under Gen G in terms of the tiering, but then they're kind of coming back because of how Bane has been performing as well. So not really, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, look, the turnaround from T1 in this stage has just been nothing short of miraculous, just given how things have begun. I mean, again, the only team to drop a series to DFM. It's the only victory.
Mungkin dari gua, Son, lu udah menang mulu lawan kokoh lu, gimana Son? Pesan-pesan lah, meskipun lu udah ke Shanghai bareng nih nanti nih sama Excurate nih, ya itu kan udah pasti happy lah. Cuman lu menang mulu lawan engkau lu. Berarti ini Valorant lu paling lu jago banget berarti ya di Valorant ya dibanding Kolo ya Son ya.
Nggak gitu juga sih, soalnya apa ya, ini Valorant kadang kayak banyak banget tim yang gampang catch up gitu. Kalau misalnya kita kayak kayak misalnya kalau menurut gue ya, kalau misalnya di game Valorant ini ya, kalau misalnya lu berhenti kayak kreativitas, kayak berhenti kayak ngelakuin hal-hal baru, cari-cari new meta, kayak kalau lu ngelakuin hal yang sama terus kayak mungkin
Gampang
semua
baca
player
ya?
kayak gampang gitu catch up ya, gampang kebaca gitu sih ya.
Tapi Jason, ini kan kamu udah masuk final ya. Nah, berharapnya ketemu sama lagi, rematch lagi kan sama Koko Kevin? Atau kamu mau ketemu sama entah DRX atau Genji nanti ya?
Kalau rematch lagi boleh sih.
Sama Koko
Rematch
Kevin?
lagi boleh sih. Ya, seru sih.
Seru ya?
Biar bisa ngebantai Kokoh lagi.
Enggak dong, enggak
Nanti
gitu.
win streak gak sih?
Eh.
Oke, tapi Jason thank you banget buat interviewnya. Good luck buat Gabakian Final. Congrats juga. Salam buat yang lain. Dan thank you ya udah
Thank you.
ngobrol-ngobrol.
Thank you, Son.
Nanti kapan-kapan kita ketemu lagi. Bye-bye Jason.
Ya, thank you, bye-bye.
Koko udah dibantai-bantai.
Iya,
ini
udah
sama
terlalu
Ade.
banyak pertanyaan ke mereka kayak
And we were hitting our shots, so yeah, it looked really good because everything we tried worked and we were hitting our shots.
Yeah, well, that was brutal once again against T1, but you know, especially on Lotus, I feel like you guys found the perfect comp that suits your playstyle perfectly. So, you know, when it comes to cooking up the compositions, is Alex the only one doing all the cooking, or is everybody chipping in?
I think especially for our Lotus comp, it's mostly Forsaken, but usually everyone chips in and we give our ideas.
Okay.
But for the Lotus comp, it was Jason's idea to play Breach.
All right. So what was he selling with the breach? What was he trying to sell?
I mean, he just gave a lot of. I think he just didn't really want to play Cypher, you know. So he just said, "I think this Breach will work because I can do this, and we thought about it for a while, and we were like, actually, he might be right. So we just tried it, and yeah, it worked.
Do you like it? Way better than the old comp.
I mean, it doesn't really matter to me as long as everyone is comfortable. I think it's good for us.
Okay, now speaking of feeling comfortable, you had a little bit of a transition period coming back to PaperX and playing on stage. I know that a lot of the teammates on PaperX, they tried to give you more support in-game and, you know, outside the server as well, but was there anything special that you were doing on your own personally to make sure that you get back into your prime form?
I think it's mainly just playing the game a lot still, watching live VODs because the meta has changed a lot since I last played. So I think I just have to play a lot and just adapt and get used to how people play now.
Now, would you say you're in your prime form? Or you're doing even better?
I think I'm slowly reaching there. I think I can still be better.
All right.
Can always be better.
You can always be better. I'm scared as to see like how good you're gonna get and how better you're gonna get. Like I feel like there's no limit, but that's for another day. Now, next up would be the grand finals. Time for PaperX to take back the Pacific Champions title. So, how confident are you guys feeling?
I'm quite confident in ourselves. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we just play our own game and we hit shots that day. And yeah, if we do that, I'm confident that we can win.
All right. Now, congratulations once again and thank you for the interview. Best of luck in the grand final.
Oke guys, sekarang sampai sini dulu live stream kita. Nanti next kita bakal lanjut live DRX menghadapi Genji ya guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.